Hey everybody, old folks here. I kind of want to do a video real quick on some team compositions. Some people say, hey, how do you hold first place, or how do you do this? And the answer to that question is I don't hold it anymore. It really varies between us top four. It's kind of a rock, paper, scissors situation. I can beat somebody, they can beat him, and just kind of goes back and forth. I want to look real quick at a couple of different teams here, kind of show what I run, how it kind of plays out. So this is was number 2, currently number 4. He's got a 4-dot awakened size though. I mean, he's got a really nice team. Basically, against a team like this, I choose a knockback to obviously mitigate the closeness and get into the squishies. I run Noel and Snow, so I have that extra person. I know I'm going to be taking damage, so I'm using my Vortex. And I'm using Edwin for the knock up and the extra damage. That extreme hold is so huge. Really, that with the 2 tanks, it kind of works great. So obviously I'm going to get Vortex. Vortex does terrible ults. I'm not going to lie. His ult mechanics are stupid. I mean, he could hit the whole team and he'll aim at a bottom guy and miss the top 2. But they all get pushed back up here. And eventually, before he can do all his healing and everything, we'll go ahead and kill him and it'll be over. So here we are, and it's one and done. And that's the end of the fight. So I beat him. We'll look at the team real quick. We'll look at the power. Obviously, you can see here his runes are higher, his hero level's higher, his tech's higher, his skill's higher, his star level's higher, his equipment's higher. He's got me everywhere but the beast soul barely. Rune core power, I don't know how that happens. I don't have any rune cores, but we'll leave that alone. Damage dealt, I mean, there's a 30,000 power difference. Obviously my Vortex does a lot more damage because it killed his. I do pretty good damage with my gears. Not a lot of damage here. Sizo can do a ton of damage, but he wasn't allowed to because we killed him. Damage received, obviously 2 tanks did a phenomenal job sucking it all up, which really mitigated what they took, which increased what they took here and killed them. When we look at this team, obviously he's got gold star, 5-star, 4 dots, 4 dots, 4 dots. So it's a pretty phenomenal team. I'm still only 2 here. And then we move on to, we'll look here at Empires. I've tried different fights with him. I've swapped out teams. He's probably the hardest one that I have because he has a 3-dotted Blaine, gold star, so he gets an early energy. He's run the same thing with the Noel and Snow. It's basically I've got a higher level, but basically what's going to happen is he's going to it's terrible ult right here. I mean, it could have gone all the way down and took him out, but it didn't. So he gets a silence off. Once he gets a silence off, I'm hosed, and there's nothing I can do about it. So all my guys are going to die here, where they could have had a chance had they gotten a really good ult, because now you'll see he's full health here again, but because I don't control that, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to lose this fight. I can run it 100 times, and it's always going to have a terrible ult, and it's always going to lose that. So, when we look at teams, the 3rd place team here, kind of a classic standard team. It's not a bad one. I can pretty much blow through it again, but they usually take out Empire, and I take them out, then he takes me out, kind of thing. When you're building teams, one of the things I like to do again is go to the alliance. Go to the alliance duel, and Empire has this here. So I can practice all I want against his. We look at the victory, and this is what I used to beat him, which is the exact same team. Hasn't changed any. The only thing that matters, or actually no, the only thing that matters is I use Chavez instead, which changes everything. But by changing Chavez into the middle, Chavez does all the damage. What does that do? That kills Blaine. With Blaine dead, there's no ult. For silence, of course, barely mitigates that stun coming out. Ult goes in, they're able to use theirs, and it's over at that point. So it is what it is. it's kind of what you do. You kind of change your teams just to kind of see what works and what doesn't. I recommend, if you can, to get an alliance mate that will help you build teams kind of like what other people have, so you can kind of test them out against each other and kind of go from there. You know, the truth that I see, people have been fighting me. Oh, yeah, never mind. I was looking. You know, I've looked at some different teams. I'm working on some different teams. Right now, one of the things I'm doing, I'm working on Zoe's Awakening. So I've got a little bit of time on that. I'm also going to be bringing up to speed Coco and West. I'm going to build a Kung Fu team. Now, there's a current meta that's taking place. I'm not going to hit it for a while because you got to be level 90, but there is a Kung Fu team that is all crit based, which is just shredding everybody right now. You know, and it's an interesting setup if you can do it. So, you know, I've almost got a 5-star Coco. I'll work on my way to kind of finish Coco getting there. Obviously, I got to build some skill points, kind of catch up there. But you know, I'll let it recharge, and then I just build it up at night as it goes. I got to get West. West is 5-star, so obviously, you know, I've got a good little team there. Again, as you look at that, so I've got them. I've got him. I've got him. I've got him. Basically, if you run these 5 right here, it's a pretty crazy team. 2 tanks, obviously. 2 great damage dealers and a back door, so it does pretty awesome. But, you know, as we start thinking about teams, and that was a little digression, I'm sorry. As we start thinking about teams and building teams, you know, it's kind of like Dwizzles. Everybody was like, that's the craziest team in the world. But it works. You know, a lot of people think, what else will work? You know, I've talked about before, we'll go here to West, looking at the Lone Dog team. You know, you'll see some of these teams pop up, and especially now that Rune cores are out. I know I haven't done a video on it. I can only tell you what I know from other people and what they've shown me. But, you know, you can build a pretty amazing Lone Dog team here. With these 5 guys, it's going to do phenomenal damage. Choose Rune cores that build crit. They're all getting buff, single power stuff. So I mean, there's a lot of opportunities to build some crazy teams. So when you're building it, you know, again, I come back to this. You know, what's the best thing to build? I don't know. It changes. They modify people. West has suddenly become pretty good from, you know, to really good. Coco's gone to mainstream because of his awakening. So pick something and stick with it. That's really my honest answer. Right now, Chavez, tank-wise, Chavez is kind of one of the better freebies. Chavez and Kaiser are your 2 top free heroes. But you're going to see a lot more Chavez just because of what he can do later levels in a team, survivability. Really fits well with both a magic team as well as an AD team. Again, stacks well if you're doing a Kung Fu team. So a lot of people are going to him. Just play around with it. That doesn't mean Jacob's not any good anymore. It doesn't mean Kaiser's not any good anymore. But obviously now with awakening skills, Kaiser's suffering against the Pulons, suffering against the Cocos. So I mean, you know, it's always going to change and shift. So build what you like, stick with it. Hope it works to when you get to the end. Again, I come back to this arena team. You know, Edwin's only good for this setup. Outside of this setup, Edwin's not any good. So you know, I don't even use my Teresa. I don't use my Lilith because against the compositions I'm facing, they're not any good. So I hope this helps you some. You can leave the teams that you want me to try. I've been working on it, but people are kind of like, oh, I don't want to do that. Or it's so overpowered it doesn't really work because one person's heroes are not equal to the others. But I'll see if I can't get some still. I'm begging people. If you can, let me know, and I'd love to see them. Maybe I can make a free account on your server and have you just link me the fight in a chat. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you have a great one. Talk to y'all later.